bad.
Ah, there's Big Paul.
Hey, Paul.
Hey, Paul.
Audio is not working.
Oh, I can hear you. No problem. We can troubleshoot. Yeah. So 3 weeks of training, eh?
There we go.
Yeah.
3 weeks of training.
Sorry.
That's
Audio working. Can you guys hear?
you're a little choppy.
A little choppy. That's not great.
Oh, there.
Oh, we can hear that. That's good.
Is that the size of your room? You barely fit in there.
Yeah, it's so small. Like, I'll let you
That's your
look
whole
around here.
room.
This is my whole room. It's like a bed.
For 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Where's your fridge? How are you gonna eat?
I have a little fridge, but they feed us here. It's like a dormitory.
Okay,
They have
that's cool.
they feed you every day, and it's been pretty good so far. Impressed with the food.
Yeah.
But
Where are you located?
right now, I'm in Sydney, Nova Scotia, at the Coast Guard College. Yeah.
You just starting.
There seems to be like a delay on my side. Should I try to fix this or like plug in? This doesn't look great.
You
Looks
look
good.
fine on my end.
Yeah,
There's
you're
always a
good.
little bit of a delay.
There's always a slight delay with this, but you're
Gotcha.
clear on my end, and you sound good.
Yeah,
You'll
me too.
always feel like you're talking over somebody.
Oh, is that how that works? That'll be confusing.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know why.
Josh is cheap. Josh is cheap, and he won't pay for the expensive software.
This is like this stuff is like $350 American a year.
Is it really?
Yes.
Never
So
mind.
that's yeah.
That's not cheap.
No.
That's
We'll
not-
chip in, Josh. We'll chip in.
Yeah,
We'll chip in.
we'll send you $20 or something.
Yeah, thanks. No, my dad helps out with that. He's a proud sponsor of the show.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
He watches every episode, so that's why I don't disclose a lot about myself.
Oh, you let us talk about all that.
Yep, I don't say nothing.
How you doing, Paul?
Any rules on vaping on here? Is that totally
No, it's
fine?
fine. There's no rules.
No rules yet.
Pretty sure nicotine's got me through prep.
Yeah. Are we rolling, Josh?
Oh yeah, we've been since
When's
the
your,
beginning.
when's your show? Your show is like really soon,
This
isn't
week.
it?
Yeah, Saturday.
Holy shit.
Nice.
Yeah, let's
And this
let's
is
get
your. Yeah, Josh,
let's
introduce
get
them first.
let's get into this. I don't know. We're gonna let you introduce yourself if you don't mind. Then I'll fill in some things if you like.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't know what you
give us
guys
a
know me
show.
for
Let us know.
introduction, but I'm Paul. You guys invited me on the show. I'm doing a show this weekend, an amateur bodybuilder, probably the most amateur bodybuilder around. This is my very first show. I'm also the very proud owner of Supplement World Halifax, which we just opened up last month. It's going to be, actually, we opened up our doors a month today, which has been fantastic. I'm the proud father of 2 kids, 1 stepdaughter and 1 son. And I'm the partner of Chelsea, who I'm sure some of you guys are familiar with, who's
We all know
been
Chelsea.
a competitor for years. You know what I mean? He's probably
Yeah.
done like 11 or so shows, something like that. So I've been, immersed in bodybuilding. I've been around it, but I thought I'd throw my hat in and give it a shot, and it's been a blast.
Awesome.
Awesome. That's awesome, man. Good luck this weekend. That's your first show ever.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that's
I'm really
kinda-
excited.
That's kind of the reason why I wanted to bring you on, because this is Bodybuilders Amateur Hour, right? And we love just putting some of this information out to everybody across the world that is looking to do a show that may have a lot of questions about the first time competing, especially with somebody that's literally just started a business and you have 2 kids and a partner that is also in prep with you, I believe, right?
Yeah, she's
So-
also competing on Saturday. It's
Right,
been,
so- Your world must be like nuts right now.
you know what? It was a whirlwind the last, I'd say, 2-3 months, especially with the store opening up and prep, and Chelsea's in prep, and she was traveling for shows, so there was a fair bit of just me running solo, getting some stuff done. But especially with the kids at night, you can't you can't be working at the store, you can't be working at your day job, doing all the rest of that stuff. So it's been very, very busy, but I kind of feel like that probably helped more than hindered. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I don't know what your guys' experience is, and I certainly don't have any, robust set of knowledge on this, but I feel like if I were just sitting at home, sitting there being hungry the whole time, it would be worse than if I'm just on the go, moving, 20, as all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally get that. It's better to stay busy. It keeps you less away from the thinking about the food, right? So I feel like that too. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean,
But
it's more like it's just you pack your meals, you cook them all up the night before or a couple days in advance. You bring them with you, and then it's just easy because you hammer your meals out throughout the day, and then you're busy during the other parts. So you don't really have time to sit down there and be miserable. Like,
yeah,
you just keep going.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a great point. Like sometimes during your downtime at prep is usually the hardest, and that's when you have doubt starts running through your mind, or like you start thinking about food or eating, or you get hungry and mistakes happen, or or yeah, or like for me, there would be like sitting here thinking about it and then getting stressed about being on stage, and then but that's like 5 weeks from now. But then you're still thinking about it, like, oh my god, and it's like you freak out. But if you keep busy and you don't really allow that stuff to set in, I think it's very.
Is that what your
helpful.
guys' experience is? I mean, this is my first one, so I don't know, but the downtime's the hard part, is it?
I
Yeah.
find, yeah, myself.
And the,
I
yeah,
found when I was just sitting around doing nothing, I was thinking about food, craving. But if I stayed busy all day, then that would definitely help out. Uh,
I would
for
always
sure.
make some kind of major purchase, like I'd buy some crazy car
you
or a
would.
motorcycle
Is
or
that how
something
you ended up with
absolutely
your?
absurd, and that's what would get me through a prep.
Is that
Yeah.
how
Yeah, I
you
did
ended
that
up
too.
with that?
That's why I had all those crazy vehicles
Yeah,
all
that's
those
how you
times.
ended up
It was
with
just
that. What was that black
yeah,
car?
a Mustang.
Your Mustang. Is that how you got that? You were on prep
Yeah, I
one?
was doing a show, and I was like, I deserve it.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
I didn't. I didn't cheat
Paul
today.
opened a store up during his prep, so
Yeah, there you go.
there you
I opened a
go.
Right,
store. I also bought a Jeep Gladiator just out of nowhere.
There
It's like
you
that's a
go.
trade in my
Right?
truck.
dude. I just got a Jeep too.
Crazy. There you
Yeah,
So
go.
that's
Do a
awesome.
show,
that
Josh. You're
Gladiator's
ready.
awesome, by the way. It's so much fun.
Yeah, it is. We'll have to get together and go drive.
Yeah, like it's so easy to like rip the top off the truck. It's sick. Like it took me like 15 minutes. I had like the entire top off the truck. Apparently, ripping the doors off is super easy. Josh, you've got a
Oh,
Jeep, right?
yeah, yeah. Taking the doors off is like much easier than the top. But
That's
you gotta
so
make
much
you
fun.
gotta make sure that you go get some mirrors from Amazon or something, right? Before you take
Yeah,
the
because
doors off.
once you have the doors off, there's no mirrors, right?
No, so you have to get some mirrors. But
Is that
It's a little
legal?
dicey, eh?
with the mirror, as soon as you put mirrors on, you're fine. But yeah,
I'm gonna
so
do
you
You
have
can
that.
buy
the
like
That's
aftermarket
a really
mirrors.
solid tip.
what's that?
You can buy aftermarket mirrors that like attach to not the door.
Yeah, they're like 40, 48, $49.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. They just go in the hinges. They just slide down in.
oh, okay, okay. I get you.
Yeah. So yeah, man. Well, let's get together and we'll go off roading.
I'm into that idea. I haven't taken it off roading yet, but I really want to. I'm about to put like just like you said, silly purchases. You're like, you know what? You sit around, you're like, I'm gonna go buy stuff. So I already signed up for like a 2-inch lift kit and like 37-inch tires on this thing.
All right.
I used to do that too, like big purchases or buy something or buy an animal, even like a dog during
Yeah,
prep.
something
I
just
know.
like
It's
you never do normally.
buy a person, something like
Or
that.
first you
All right, Diddy, calm down.
got that guy.
Um, yeah. So let's back to bodybuilding for a second. You and I kind of go way back to like the '02 days, right? We would see each other at the gym often. And
Yeah, I mean, you feel like you travel around from gym to gym a fair bit, don't you, Josh?
yeah, I kind of bounce around. I gotta
Yeah,
keep up.
because you
I
were
gotta keep
training
up the
down. You're doing
appearance.
like training for powerlifting, for a bit, isn't that right? And then you would sort of float around, not float around, but go to gym to gym. And I do that a fair bit as well. Spent some time at like O2 and then Fitness FX and a couple of Good Life. So I'd see you around a fair bit. Yeah.
Like all over
And like
the
I think
place.
you knew Chelsea from back from like from a long time ago for competing days too. So we'd run into each other and chat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's been a long haul. I mean, I remember when I started working out. I met Chelsea. God, it was like 4 years ago, and I like I didn't really know what I was doing in the gym at all. Like I was down there, I was eating like a ketogenic diet, and then drinking my face off every weekend. You know what I mean?
Oh
Which is
no.
when you're eating all the booze and stuff. And I was just like a bag of milk. Like it was terrible. And then she's like, "Man, you really got to dial this in." And so we started training together. And I think that's roughly when I started meeting you. And I'd change up the diet and all the rest of that stuff. But it's been a fun go, man. It's been a lot of transformation over the last 4 years.
Right. Oh, that's fantastic. Like, it's like Chelsea was the big catalyst that really helped you kind of switch things around, or were you just like, I'm tired of this?
Well, I just didn't know what I was doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
there wasn't like I mean, unless you're out there seeking the knowledge of what it is, like it's not necessary. There's so many. If you think about it this way, if you're just on the internet and you're just like a regular guy, you know what I mean? Like there's so many different fixes for
Yeah.
how to get fit. There's people
I mean,
preaching like ketogenic diets. There's intermittent fasting. There's the carnivore diet. There's all this stuff. These quick fixes to lose weight. And the average person isn't looking like when they hear lose weight, they think get jacked or they think get fit or they think get lean. They don't really understand what goes into it. And then when you talk to somebody who's done it or who's around the scene, they're like, that's not really the way it works. Like you've got to eat carbohydrates in a sort of regular dosage. You have to titrate food up when you're trying to grow, titrate it down when you're trying to get lean. You know what I mean? You've got to really dial in the diet side of it because if you don't have that dialed in, it's just not going to work.
right.
And once I started focusing on that, that's when I started noticing fast improvements. I mean, sure, I lost a fair bit of weight, just going ketogenic and drinking on the weekends and stuff, but it wasn't like an aesthetically pleasing look. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like it's not sustainable either, right? So as soon as you stopped keto, it's
No,
like
it's not.
right.
No,
You're
I mean,
working
like
with
I know
Morgan
some people that try to
McDonald,
like
I
live
think,
off the
Paul.
carnivore diet and stuff like that. I can't imagine doing that for an extended period of time. I don't know if you guys have ever tried.
Yeah.
Nope.
No. Once the keto diet, but
That was
did
by
it for 1
mistake.
year. Yeah, I don't recommend those. But
Yeah.
you're working with Morgan McDonald, aren't you, Paul?
Yeah, he's been on this podcast
Yeah.
before too,
Also,
hasn't
Yeah, a couple of times. Yeah.
yeah,
he? Yeah, Morgan Mack, he's awesome, man.
yeah,
He was
Morgan's
a
a
big
guy.
help too. Like so Chelsea kind of got me started, and then when I hired Morgan, I'd say like a year and a half ago, we really dialed it up. Like he really
Yeah,
pushed food like hard. Like I hadn't been pushing food anywhere near that hard. Like we were up to I don't know like 450 grams of rice per meal. You know what I mean? I don't know what the
Oh,
calorie count on that would be,
that's
but
a
it would have been
lot.
relatively high. And like it was, I was sitting there at the end of the night, just like having to pound back oatmeal and protein powder, just like miserable. You
yeah,
know what I mean? But we really,
yeah,
we really pounded the food.
yeah.
Yeah, I
I'm a
find
big
it.
carb believer too, as Josh knows.
Oh
We keep the
yeah.
carbs pretty high through prep, even with you with
Oh
your
for
crazy metabolism.
yeah. I'm like 2 weeks in and I'm still full, having trouble eating meals. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Like you
Yeah.
don't, you've got troubles with your appetite, don't you, Josh? Like
Not
it's
a
hard to
little
get the
bit, but
food in.
like, nah. It's
It's his
just I have to eat.
metabolism.
I have to eat so much, and like it's like
Yeah.
2 weeks to a show, and I'm still like my plate of food is still fucking huge.
Yeah.
I was
You
like,
could
oh
Oh,
literally
man,
like
eat.
what would your calorie
You could
count be
you
right
could
now,
literally
two
have a
weeks
cheat
out?
meal every day.
if 2 weeks out, what do you think? Devin's the coach. I just eat what he tells me. Like 2 weeks
Yeah,
out,
I think 2 weeks out. What was the
what
question?
my calories would be like at a 2 week out
They're
mark.
I keep them. They're probably around 4,000 still.
Jesus Christ,
Yeah,
They're
it's
pretty
hot.
high.
They're really high. He could literally have a cheat meal every night for the last like
probably
your metabolism's revved up so much by 2 weeks out. You could eat
it's
a cheat meal right every night into the show.
yeah it's
We carb you up all week basically. So Josh is a little different than most people.
yeah I don't
Yeah, for sure.
it. But also
That
on the
must
other
make the off
hand,
seasons pretty hard though. If you're on 4,000 calories now, Josh, like that's got to be tough.
yeah, it's not great, and that's probably why I don't really move up like a weight classes very. It takes me a long time, or I'm not walking on stage at like 190, 200 because it's just like I can't afford it. Really, I can't afford to eat that
Yeah.
much food. When it comes down to it, I'm like, holy crap!
Yeah.
So you said you're 2 weeks out, eh? Are you doing nationals then?
Or not me. Like that's like when I am 2 weeks out.
Oh, gotcha.
Right. Yeah. No, I'm done for the year.
Yeah.
You got a plan on the next show, or?
Yeah. There's a few of us. We're my next show is going to be next Halifax show. So next fall, 2025. Then the Canadian Nationals after that.
The timeline for that works out really well, eh? Like
Yeah.
it's I think they've got that structured quite nicely.
And then if
Yeah.
everything works out well
Back to
at
back.
Nationals, we're going to Amateur Olympia. So
Yes,
That would be
sir.
such a fun show to do too.
yeah, that's the plan, right? And then I may hang up the trunks.
Yeah.
You think so?
You have done every show then, I think, right,
I think
Josh?
so. Yeah.
You did the Arnold.
I don't
and
know.
what
I don't know if I could pull a Jamie.
Yeah. We'll get you there.
If you don't know, if you haven't aware, Paul Jamie's like 30 some shows in at 50 years old, still killing it. Right?
Still growing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's still getting bigger and better.
Yeah.
But right now he's
Incredible.
out looking for moose knuckle. So he's not here. Is that what it's called? I don't. Yeah, he's hunting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
can't afford his diet either, so he's got to go shoot it himself.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's not here right now.
So what's it
Well,
like owning the supplement store, Paul? What's that like?
Yeah, tell us
Oh
how
man,
It's
it's
a
this.
big
been
project.
it's been incredible. Like it was so I've been working in banking like for God, it's been like 12, 13 years. So it's a bit of a branch out. And it's not just me, it's me and my wife Chelsea, or the wife, we're not married, but live together, have a kid, essentially
Yeah.
married, you know what I
It's the
mean?
same thing.
Same thing, yeah.
So we decided to open the store up together. Have you guys heard of Supplement World? It's like big out west. It's not as big out here yet.
Oh yeah, I've seen it when I lived in I think Calgary. I remember it being
Yeah.
around.
So it's
I've just
it's
heard
out in
about
Calgary.
it
I think it originated. Not I think I know. It originated out in Saskatoon. There was a gentleman named Josh who started it up out there, and it took off. And it's probably the predominant like supplement store, in Saskatoon. You know what I mean? In Saskatchewan, like it'd be sort of a name brand like Supplement King is here. And then it sort of crawled out from there and spread into BC and spread into Alberta and then moved into Winnipeg and other regions, and it's crawling its way across Canada. It sort of leapfrogged Ontario and then moved out to Halifax, but they've got another location that's opening up in Oakville, I think, next month. But it's like
Nice.
they started out 6 years ago, and I think they're now going to be at 30 stores here real quick nationally. So it's when you compare that to say Supplement King, which has 100 stores, it's not quite as big, but it's much newer and getting
It's
there.
growing.
And they've got a bit of a different like business model. It's more like they do. I don't know if you guys have ever seen our advertisements up on Instagram. I've been hammering it pretty hard. Josh, I'm sure you can't avoid it because you're in the
No, I've
region.
seen it, yeah.
You'd be right in the demographic for the paid boost that I'm hitting. But like, they've got like these shakes that are super macro friendly. They're like 25 grams of protein, 25 to 27, 25 grams of carbs, and about 275 calories. And they taste like a milkshake. Like they're delicious. They're made of like a coconut base. And they just bring people in the door. Like people try them and they keep coming back, and then when they keep coming back, they keep buying supplements, and it's been a wild ride. It's like every week is busier than the last. You know what I mean? It's been great, and it's only been 4 weeks in, so so far the feedback's been tremendous. Like the community out in Fairview, Clayton Park's been awesome. We're located next to Fitness FX, which is a fairly large like bodybuilding community, and up the street from Joe Howe Good Life, which is just like probably the biggest Good Life east of Montreal. Like it's huge,
Yeah,
much
for
bigger
sure.
than I ever thought it was. So there's certainly like a market for it there, and it's been really successful and busy so far. So we're really grateful, thankful, and happy with the results. Yeah,
It's awesome, man.
So how did
it is.
How
It's
did
been
the
great.
idea even
Also, it's
come
super
up?
fun, man. Like it's. I was talking to somebody else. I was talking to a friend about it today. Like it's the first venture we've gone out and done something for ourselves. You know what I mean? Like I've worked for other people in sort of banking and professional roles before, but not gone out and done something that's sort of entrepreneurial like this in this realm. And it's been so much fun building something kind of not necessarily from scratch because there's a business model that gets attached to it, but building out your plan layout and setting up business plans and all the rest of the stuff, and creating and structuring your marketing campaigns and then following through with it has been probably more fun than I've had in the last like 10 years. It's been awesome.
Where did the idea come from? Like why Like you're just like, I'm done with this. I'm done with the bank life and kind of thing. Like where did the seed
I'm
get
still, to be
planted?
fair, I'm actually still banking. I'm still full time at the bank. It's just Chelsea runs and
Damn.
operates the store during the day, and we're co-owners of the facility. I'll cover shifts at night and on the weekend and stuff like that to help train staff. And I sort of run like the finance side of it, and she be on the operational side. But it's Chelsea came up with the idea. She pitched it to me. So she was like, "Hey, listen, this store that I've heard about out west, which is taking off. It's becoming, it's bigger and bigger and bigger. Like it started at like 10 locations, I think, when we looked at it, and then a few months later they're at 16. And we're like, okay, there's something going on here. So we touched base with the franchise owner Josh, and he's got a guy named Ed, and we had initial chat with them. We're like, we're interested in it. We'd like to see some financials. You know what I mean? Could you fire some over to us? And having worked in bank, I work in commercial banking, and I've got like a decent base of knowledge in terms of assessing financial statements. That's not necessarily what I do for commercial banking, but I've got some knowledge in it. And so I took a run through the financial statements, and they were looking good. So I asked them to send in, samples of their successful stores and some of their non-successful stores. And I ran it through some people I trusted to see if my assessment was accurate, and it looked good. So we started building out financial projections and taking a look at it. I thought, we'd have a real good chance of making a run at it and be successful. So we went ahead, pulled the trigger, paid the franchise fee, and then started looking for real estate. And that, I would say, was probably the most challenging part, is finding the right location. You know what I mean? Like, you're sitting down, you're like, okay, well, we like the fitness industry. You know what I mean? We like the world of supplements. We use a lot of them. You know what I mean? So where are we going to set up shop that's going to be not in an area that's super saturated with, say, supplement stores already, but in a market where there's a fitness community that's kind of lacking? And I think we landed a great spot in Fairview Clayton Park, where there isn't much around. Like there's a Popeyes out in Bayers Lake, but it's a little bit out of the way. But there's nothing close to say Fitness FX. There's nothing close to Joe How Good Life, that kind of stuff. So I think we found a good spot.
Yeah, for most of it, like the Popeyes, you got to be like going there specifically. You're not just gonna jump off or to the gym and just go around the corner and go to. So.
Yeah, and that's it. And the business model for this is just a little bit different in the sense that because it offers shakes. Like a lot of people come by after like post workout because it's a good post workout shake. Like I mean, if you're in prep, obviously you're not doing that. If you're structured on a pretty strict meal plan, maybe you're not doing that. But for the average person, these shakes are fantastic. 275 calories, 27 grams of protein. It's a perfect post workout kind of treat. You know what I mean? So it brings a lot of people in post workout. So you want to have something that's accessible and convenient to those people. So, and especially in like Fairview Clayton Park, it's really hard to find something with parking. So we were lucky that we found something with parking that's designated for us. So it was good. Yeah. And you're right. Like that Popeyes location is great. Like I'm not trying to knock on Popeyes or anything like that. That's certainly not
they're good.
What I'm not here to do. But I think it's just a more conveniently located facility than that Popeyes in Bears Lake. Like I hate personally going to Bears Lake. You know what I mean? Like it's not something I enjoy doing. Like it's the traffic there is insane. Like it's busy on the weekends. Like you got to fight your way through 18 million traffic lights, and I can't stand it.
Get around all the Costco people. They drive like they use their carts. It's bad.
Yeah. So it's been a lot of fun, man. And have you popped in yet, Josh?
Not yet. It's across the bridge, so I haven't really been over there lately.
You should come in. Come check it out. It's a pretty cool spot. One second, my wife's yelling at me. I think she forgot I'm doing this. Just texting her right now.
No problem. Yeah, I definitely.
I saw something really interesting today. So I joined a gym here in Sydney called Ascension. I think that's what it's called. And in the gym itself, they had a Supplement King, like basically a store within the gym itself. And I was thinking about it, and that's what sold me on the gym. I was like, well, obviously I'm going to go here because I can get my shit along with get my workout in. And I mean, the place was packed. Like I was shocked. And it was a smaller gym, and people were buying stuff and walking in and walking out. And so
makes sense.
That's an interesting business model there too, right? To put it inside a gym.
Absolutely. And I think like some gyms do have, even their own branded stuff in there. Like something King makes a lot more sense. Like if it's, for example, if you're like an independent gym and you try to start up your own supplement shop in there, getting the same kind of purchasing power that say like a Supplement King has is difficult to do.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's tough to get, the margins you need on it, and you can't offer the same kind of discounts. But people walk through there like all the time, and they just want, hey, I'll grab a pre-workout, I'll grab some protein powder, I'll grab whatever. They're already, you're located right next to people that are obviously using what you're selling. So it makes a ton of sense. There's other gyms I've seen that have had that across the country. You know what I mean? Where they will have like a partnership with Supplement King or something like that, and they'll sell like a small kiosk or booth in there. I think it would work for sure.
Yeah,
That's the first time I ever saw that, and I thought it was great. I was like, "Oh, this is so convenient."
Yeah, convenience is the best for selling, for sure.
Yeah, especially
That's really smart getting the best location near your gym.
Especially like if bodybuilders and fitness competitors, we're initially very lazy people. We don't want to drive and go we don't want to go out of our way. We are usually tired, exhausted, or on the way to do something or go to the gym, and we are pretty lazy. So if you're relatively close, then good on you. That's a great place.
Yeah, we're really excited about it. So come check us out, Josh. That's what I'm saying.
What was it like, Paul, doing prep with Chelsea together?
I thought it was going to be a lot worse
the store
than it was.
and everything together. What was it like? This is your first show, I guess, so you don't have anything to compare to. But how did she feel? I guess prepping with you.
Yeah, I think it's gone really well. Like, and you're right. I don't have a barometer for it. Like, I don't have a measuring stick to evaluate or say judge how successful it was. But I mean, we've been getting along fine. I'd say like the only thing that happens throughout prep is like we're both just so low energy. Like towards the end of it, like there's no one there to really like. We've been doing our best to keep up with, like laundry and all the stuff in the house. But the house is starting to take a bit of a hit sometimes, and we pick it up and we get it done. But it's just sometimes you're both just exhausted. Like sometimes you're so deep into, a depletion state that you're like, even getting up and walking seems like a chore. You know what I mean? Like I would say my experience in prep, not to go off on on another tangent, but like it wasn't the hunger for me so much as the lack of energy. Like I find the lack of energy was wild. Like even going, like the kids would want something, I'd have to go upstairs to get it, and I'd be like, oh god, here we go. You know what I mean? Like just simple stuff like that wouldn't have been a problem before, it suddenly becomes much more difficult.
That's what I said. Every prep I went through, I said it's the lack of energy that really pisses me off, not the hunger part. It's just not having that energy to do stuff.
Deal with normally, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like
I feel like the hunger fades a bit. I mean, this is my first time doing it, but like you get used to it, or your body sort of adapts, and it doesn't bug you as much as it does maybe at the start. But it's that lack of energy when you can't go around. Sorry, excuse me. You can't, moving around just gets become a bit of a task or a bit of a chore. That's where it gets a little deep. But we've been like from a relationship standpoint, Chelsea and I have been getting along great. Like haven't been any issues. Like we both kind of understand it. I've seen her go through it before, which I think helps. So I kind of knew what I was getting into, and I think she's sympathetic because she knows what it's like. So I think we're both sort of there supporting each other. It hasn't, I thought there might be times where we'd be at odds or get on each other's nerves because we're both sort of irritable, but we've been just fine so far. So fingers crossed. Well, we have 3 more days, so let's hope I didn't jinx it.
No, that's great.
Good stuff.
I'm just really curious. Like, I remember talking to you way back, and Chelsea was getting ready for a show. I don't know what show, but it was one of them. I remember talking to you and be like, "Hey, man," I was like, "You're in really good shape." It's like, are you gonna do this one day? You should step on stage. And you would look at me all the time and like laugh. You're like, "No, I'm not doing that." You're like, I have no interest. Blah blah blah. Like, what changed?
You know what? It's I always honestly I never thought I would. I really never thought I would step on the stage. I really didn't. Like I enjoy working out. I enjoy training, but the concept of like getting up there wearing like no clothes and having like a judging panel evaluate my physique, like to me that it still feels like I'm still nervous about it. And it's happening on Saturday. You know what I mean? Like it still feels like a little surreal and strange to me. So like that part of it still gives me, but the part of it that it kind of switched in my head is I've always liked to do things like to the extreme. You know what I mean? Like I like doing like pushing my body to different limits. Like things I've done in the past is like 10-day hiking trips in the middle of the woods with just what you've got on your back and stuff like that. Like pushing your body to do things that are, the average person wouldn't or couldn't do. And like seeing Chelsea go through it, I was like, you know what, I got to go through this at least once, you know what I mean, to see what this whole ordeal's like. And after all, I mean, that plus after say 3.5, 4 years of being in the gym 6 days a week and eating and training like a bodybuilder, there's a part of you that's like, you know what, I do want to find out what's underneath here, man. Like I got to see what I built, and there's only one way to really do it, I think, and that's to cut down and get lean enough to really see what's underneath there. Like, and so I was like, you know what, Chelsea, you've always wanted to do a show together. You want to go to nationals? There's a show right before nationals. Why don't we prep for Halifax together, and then we'll do it, and we'll do it together. So we both signed up, and away we go. Yeah.
Oh man, that's exciting.
So you will be doing nationals are you doing nationals too?
No, God, no. I will not be doing nationals. I'm just a plug. I would avoid nationals, but I'll go down to nationals and cheer Chelsea on. Right. I think she's going to nationals.
Yeah, I think she'll do really. I think she'll do really well. She has a pretty good chance.
Yeah, she's honestly, Chelsea's looking better than she's ever looked. She really is. She's killing it right now.
Okay, well then she has a very good chance of taking it then.
Yeah.
No.
I think I think she's got a real good chance. I mean, listen, she's in although I gotta say, out of like, usually when Chelsea goes into a competition, there's like, I don't know, 4 people in her height category. She's in the taller height category, 5'8" above or whatever it is. There's like 11 people in this class.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's pretty stacked. Like it's a stacked bikini class.
That's good though. That's more people's butts to kick. She'll really.
Well, it's good. Like I've always like, so I'm doing this show. I had a half of mine. What's your guys' opinion on this? Like I've always been curious. So like I've got one class where I'm the only person in it. You know what I mean, on Saturday. And to me, I feel like that's a bit of a bummer. Like it's kind of a bit of a letdown. Like I mean, I'm still going to do it, but it's like it's not as much fun to get up there by yourself. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah. You'll get a medal, so that's cool. So.
Yeah, when I was coming up, it was just bodybuilding, right? Like me and Andy we did the same show together back in the day, 2005. So back then it was just bodybuilding. So we had each class was like there was tons in each class. There was like 10 guys in some of the classes.
A dozen.
So yeah, like coming up before men's physique and classic, and then classic kind of took over, or men's physique took over, then classic took over from there. So, but Josh, I know you've been up there recently when there's less numbers. So
that happened to me twice. And the way I look at it, so I don't feel so bad for taking first place and being proud of it, is that every single person that is my weight could have done this but chose not to, right? So you can look at it as you've beaten every single person out there that is a competitive bodybuilder because they couldn't do it, or you've beaten everyone because they chose not to. So hold your head up high and take that medal and be like, I beat everybody because no one else could step up to me, right? Or no one else could even think about doing this, and you're the only one. So
that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, I kind of look at like there's like, everyone out there watching you on stage is probably like, man, like you just beat everybody there that wishes and wanted to have done it, but for some reason didn't or couldn't. So I always hold your head up high, regardless of how many people are there.
You know what? I think that's a great philosophy to take on it too. You know what I mean? Like you're there. You know what I mean? You put in the work, right? Like you died at 20 weeks. Yeah. Get up there and hold your head up high.
And nobody else did it because no one else had the balls or the guts or no one else. Yeah. So you surpassed everyone that was even like thinking about it at one point, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's a great mentality to take. I like that perspective.
Yeah.
That's how I kind of justify like being happy and proud about one of those trophies up there. I don't know, but
there's too many.
It's too many to count.
Yeah.
You gotta make some new shelving for next year, Josh.
I will.
It's gonna be a big year.
Get some more.
What classes are you doing?
It's way too many. I asked Morgan. So I was like, Morgan, how many classes should I do? I was like, so I'm doing men's physique and classic. And I was like, Morgan, how many classes should I sign up for? He's like, sign up for them all. I'm like, are you sure? Like, that's a lot of classes, man. He's like, yeah, sign up for them all. He's like, just get the experience, get up there, grab all the hardware. I was
That's
like,
a
and then I started looking at it. At 6 classes I'm in, like, because I'm true novice,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
masters and open. So like, it's like people are gonna be fucking sick of looking at my face. Like,
This is gonna be the
like,
Paul
you're this
show.
fucking guy
Holy
again.
shit!
Can you get this guy off the fucking stage? Like, it's
That's
not good.
crazy.
That's gonna be a long
6.
day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is.
So I'm taking it you really have practiced posing a lot. I hope so.
Yeah, listen, it's still not great. I'm not gonna lie, like, but it's miles better than where it started. I'll tell you that. I've been
Right.
using Rowan Humble. I'm sure you guys are
Yep.
familiar with Rowan, or at least some of you guys are familiar with Rowan. And so Rowan's been helping me out. I've been like going in on a weekly basis and working with him, and he's been a huge help, a massive help. It was. I keep joking around with him. I'm like, listen, man, if we keep improving at this rate, I might get to mediocre at some point here. You know what I mean? Like, we might actually make it to mediocre level. But
Can you remember what your first session of posing was like compared to now, and how hard it actually is? A lot of people
oh man,
don't
that's
understand
got
how
to be
hard
one
this
of the
is.
most underrated like things. Like, I think people that don't know go up there and they just think posing's easy. Like, you go up, you hit a front double, it's easy. That's all you got to do. There's way more to it than I think people know or realize. Like, you get in there and like you're like, this is way more difficult. Like, your foot placement, the way you tilt, the way you're angling your hips, the way your trunk has to rotate. And mobility for me is not, my mobility is shit. Like, it's terrible. And the amount of mobility that's required is a lot more than what you'd think to hit those poses correctly, which I'm probably still not doing. But there's a way more to it than you think. Like, after I'd say a solid weekly, I've been going in once a week for I'd say like 18 weeks, and there's
Wow,
still
that's awesome.
like tons of work to do. Like, it's much more challenging than I think people realize.
No.
And I don't
And you
think
do all
I
that
don't
with
know if people
no
pay enough
body
or
fat.
give enough respect to how difficult posing truly is. And they
Yeah.
probably, if they go through it, I think they'd learn a lot, because it's much more difficult than I thought it was going to be, for sure.
Especially doing it with no skin left and that low body fat percentage, right? That makes it even
I'd say at like 4 weeks out
way
and 5
worse.
weeks out, when you're trying to like prep like a routine and stuff like that, it is the
Yeah.
last thing you want to do. Like, the last thing
yeah.
you want to do is come back to your house and start like working on your routine and stuff. Like,
I know.
you're like, I just want to sit on my couch. It's been a long day, but you got to put in the work, right?
That's why the majority of my career, I do not have a routine. I just winged it. I was just like, I'm not stressing about that. I'm just going to go up and wing it for the most.
Well, I feel like some people have that in them. Like, they've been practicing posing for so long. Like, Jamie Monroe, for example. Like, he's just a naturally fluid and great poser. For example, just a guy I can name off the top of my head. Like, he just has a natural talent for it. And like, they can just go out there and do it. I, on the other hand, I move like I've got 2 left feet. So I mean, like, I can't just go out there and wing it. If I do that, it's going to be an absolute dumpster fire. So I had to put some prep into it for sure.
Andy is getting.
I'm jealous. I'm jealous of
I'm
you,
not
Josh.
sure
I
if
wish
Andy's
you
going to
could.
be back on stage yet, but I'm sure his routines are going to be excellent now that he's got a lot of dance experience.
Who's that?
From Twisted, from my wife's studio. She has Twisted Fitness, so
Twisted
it's pole dancing fitness.
So Andy's getting very limber now. And he's going to
Well, I
be.
might
He's
just
going
put
to.
a pole up on the stage actually, and just do a routine like that.
Oh, that'd be
Yeah,
nice.
you should do guest posing like that. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
You know what? You should make a YouTube video of you on the pole. I think you'd get some serious hits.
Oh yeah. You would. That would go viral.
Yeah.
Next
We
time you
just-
guys all come to St. John, I'll bring you into the studio.
I'll
We'll all
do
get
it. Yeah. We'll all do it.
Bar talk
We'll
disaster.
wait till Paul's not as lean though.
Yeah, we gotta wait till.
Yeah,
Paul's
get me in full off season. Just belly hanging out. That'd be a good look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
Make us all feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we do it now, we'll look just like 3 fat hairy guys, and
Yeah,
then
no one wants to see that.
a
I
shredded.
think you guys look great. I'm in for the
A
trip.
shredded
We'll do it
monster.
next week.
What's your carb up plan look like? What are you gonna do?
So I started carbing up today, and we just hammered the carbs today.
Today is
And it's
Tuesday
pretty
for people
good.
that are watching.
Sorry, what was that?
I was just saying today is Tuesday for people that are watching.
Yeah, so today's Tuesday, So I think the way Morgan does it, and I think he adjusts a little bit on the fly, but what he was talking about doing was doing Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And, I mean, adjusting carbs is sort of, he takes an evaluation of what I look like, and then Friday lightening it up, like tightening it up so that the waist comes back down prior to Saturday, and then just sort of fine tuning from there. I don't know if that's sort of a common practice or not, but that's what he was planning on doing.
If you are not at the top of your weight class, then like yeah, that's a great idea, right? If you're not worried too much about making, yeah.
I have about 16 pounds, I'd say right now. I'm like, I think my weight cap would be 202, and I was weighing in yesterday at a low of 185. So I've got,
Yeah.
17 pounds to go. So
Yeah,
we're
you're
good.
safe. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a
You
good.
might shoot
That's
up
what I would
10
do.
or
Yeah, if
15
I was you.
pounds. It'll
What's
all
that,
come off
Andy?
on Friday. I just find that's usually what happens when you carb up. When somebody carbs up for that long, a lot of times your weight will shoot way up. I know mine does. Mine will shoot up 15 or 20 pounds almost.
Yeah.
And then on Friday, when you actually pull the water and all that, you'll come back down to something more reasonable.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, before I came on here, I just took my weight upstairs. I was like 196. I was like, because I've been pounding the water all day. I'm surprised. Like I'm holding, like I'm crossing my legs underneath this desk right now because I got to pee so bad. But like I'm at like 6 liters of water already here. You know what I mean? And so I think the combination of the carbs and that water has got the weight going through the roof.
It's the
You can run to the
yeah,
washroom.
it's all that glycogen from the water, really. From when you're pounding the water and
Yeah.
sodium and carbs, all of it, that glycogen weighs quite a bit.
Yeah.
You don't realize.
Yeah.
The flies
you
up
want
there. Right?
Yeah, it's a pretty big swing, like 10 pounds in like a day. You know what I mean? Like from
Yeah.
morning to
Yeah,
night.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a weird feeling.
Mm.
So yeah, be ready for that. But yeah, you can definitely run to the washroom.
I'm excited to find out what the whole I mean, excited, and I've heard it's not the most comfortable out there. Like when you cut water, it's supposed to get pretty that's when it starts getting freaky, right?
It feels
Yeah,
kind
you
of
get
bad.
freakier by
It's
the
so
hour,
good.
basically. Every hour you'll see changes once you like from Friday night to Saturday morning and on, you'll keep seeing changes like every hour almost. I find, or every time you eat
Yeah.
or do anything.
That's wild. That'll be fun
Incredible.
to see.
Yeah.
Especially when you're as lean as you are right now, because you look really lean and dry in your photos. So I would say, yeah, you'll be able to notice it.
I'm pretty happy with what I pulled off for a first prep. I mean, there's a little bit. I mean, I'm always like I'm pretty a harsh critic of myself. I feel like there's a little more I could have dug out of my back, to be honest with you. But it is what it is at this point. So
Yeah. We're always the
five. I always call myself 5'10", but I got heighted at nationals last time Chelsea was there by Rudy. Put me at 5'9" and 3/4.
All right.
damn.
5'9" and 3/4.
5'9" and 3. That's what Rudy had me at.
Yeah. So is that what you're going with between 5'9" and 5'10"?
I assume, I mean, that's why I got to, this was what, last year around this time. So I was like, well, if I'm going to do a show, I'd love to know what my actual height is for my weight cap.
Yeah.
But, they're weighing Chelsea in and taking her measurements and stuff. I was like, hey, you mind if I pop on there? And Rudy's like, yeah, sure, go ahead. And he put the stick on me and put me in at 5'9" and 3/4. So I've been assuming that I'll be somewhere between 5'9" and 5'10".
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, that's a good idea. Make sure you know what you got to get under. You said it was 202. Is that the cap for that?
That'd be the cap for the 5'9" to 5'10". But I think I'd have room, even if they got me in under 5'9", I'll probably have room. I think I'm good. Like I've got a lot of room. I've got a fair amount of room to grow. Like East Coast, I don't know how much you guys know about the East Coast regional shows, but I think it's pretty common for people to have a good 10, 15 pounds of room to grow in them. Like it's not, you know what I mean? People aren't pushing the weight caps that hard for classes.
No, that's pretty normal around here. There's not a lot of like giant freaks here. Morgan was the outlier, then he left, right? But
yeah, I got to pick him up from the airport tomorrow night, and I'm not even sure he's going to fit in the truck.
He's as big as a refrigerator. He's enormous.
Yeah. Where's Morgan living
Yeah,
now?
I saw his post the other day. He was up to like 345 pounds or something like that. Like that's a large man.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's out training in Ontario. He's living out there now.
Oh, he's in Ontario now. Okay.
Pure Muscle and Fitness with like Antoine and those guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Do you have time for a couple questions from your dying fans from Instagram?
Yeah, for sure. Do you think we could do one quick pee break? So I
Oh,
could
go
just
for it.
uncross my legs underneath here. Is that fine?
Oh yeah, go for it. We're not.
I'll leave you
We're
guys to
not
chat
live
for
or
like
anything.
2
We're just
seconds.
recording.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I'll go too.
Yeah.
All right. Just
All
me and
right.
you, buddy.
Well, this is awkward now.
Yeah. That Ascension gym, shout out to that gym that I went to today, man. It was way better than the Y that I usually go to
All
here in
right.
Sydney.
Is it? It's a small gym, eh? With
It's small. Well,
I can't remember the one I went to when I was down there, but
it has to have been that one.
it was pretty
It's the
small.
only one that I think that is any. I shouldn't say it's small. It's not too bad.
Do you walk
But,
straight in and then almost as you're walking in, there's like a desk right in front of you, to the
Yeah.
right a little bit, and then all the gym is just all off to the right with like
Yeah,
cardio by
that's
the
right.
cardio by the
On the
by
left.
the windows on the left, and
Yeah.
then you have like
Yeah.
okay,
That's it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Man, they
Yeah.
had a couple cool machines there I've never even seen before.
They had some pretty cool stuff. Yeah. I was trying to. It was just so busy. Like I was shocked. It
Right?
was
Yeah,
nice to see so many people at a gym in
yeah.
Sydney.
It's like what the hell? Yeah. Well, I can make my family's from there. My dad's side is from there, and they are
That's a
far
lot.
from someone you would ever picture at the gym. And when we were down visiting, we were just surrounded by not gym goers, that's for sure. And it's just like, but it was nice to see still people in a really small city, still being training and being healthy, and some people that are actually in pretty good shape.
Yeah, there's a couple. There's one guy there. I was shocked. I was like, this guy could. I'm gonna talk to him tomorrow. I think. Tell him what I
Yeah.
think because he can do well. Just a young
Nice,
guy.
nice. When I was down there, it was in the summertime 2 years ago. I met two guys that were training for the Atlantics
Oh,
that
really?
year. That year, I don't remember their names, but they were there. It was their first shows, and they were getting ready for the Atlantics. We were having a conversation while they were on the step mill or something, or the
Yeah.
elliptical or something.
Is
But
that in Cape Breton?
yeah,
You guys?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I've
But
always. Is there? I can't imagine. I don't know if I know of any competitors coming down from Cape Breton, honestly, but I would
there
think
was
there
two
would be.
from the Atlantics. The two competed in the Atlantics like 2 years ago, 2021. Yeah, 22. One of those years. They all mushed together anymore. I don't know.
I feel like there was a
Like
bit of a dip in sort of the bodybuilding scene in Nova Scotia and Halifax, and then I feel like there's maybe, or maybe it's just because I'm more involved in it, but I feel like there's a bit more of a resurgence, or it's coming back to life a little bit.
oh yes, Paul, because you're involved, everyone wants to compete with you.
No, 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 no,
It
no.
was
That's not
like,
what I'm saying.
it was
I was
like
saying
everyone.
maybe I feel that way because I'm involved with it. So I
Oh,
see
okay. I
it
see. I
more,
was
not
like,
because I'm involved with it. Everybody wants to compete. That was
right.
not where I was going with that. But yeah, yeah, yeah. Paul Shirriff's there. Oh
Yeah.
my God, he's competing for the first time. I gotta go do bodybuilding.
Oh my God,
Guy's
he's
15
like,
pounds under the weight cap. Let's go compete with him.
It did, yeah. It did take a little bit of a hit there for a while, the competitive scene in like all of Atlantic Canada, really.
yeah.
But I think it's coming back now. I think it seems to be, anyways.
For like a little while there, it's like, in Atlantic Canada anyway, it was always the same 5 or 6 bodybuilders. We all just kept competing against each other over and over and over again. And we're all starting to get a little old, and we're all starting to retire. So we're like really looking forward to like, where's the new bodybuilders coming in? Classic. There's a lot of classic. There's a lot of physique, but
Yeah.
we're not seeing many bodybuilders anymore, and it's yeah, I don't know. It's a little disappointing.
Yeah. Unless they have a gladiator show, like when Heather
Right.
has the gladiators, then that's really the only time the bodybuilders come out.
But then
A lot.
look at the gladiators. All the gladiators were like 35 plus, right?
I know.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Right.
Guys
So
that have been doing it forever. Yeah.
yeah,
I was
But
kind of hoping that
it
Heather
takes a
would.
tremendous amount of time to build up that much muscle, though, too. You know what I mean? Like,
that is true. But I
Yeah.
think people should. I think that's also part of the mentality is like, I want to be the biggest before I step on stage for the first time. I want to make sure I'm the biggest. I want to win. People aren't just kind of doing it just to get on stage for the experience and like growing and learning that way. Because I do
Yeah.
know a couple of people that want to compete, but they're not. Like, I'm not going to step on stage until I'm at least 230 pounds. I'm like, oh my God. Right? Like, come on.
I think if you don't go through the process of competing, like I think you're going to miss the rebound, and it's going to be tougher to get to the 230 pounds. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, I'm not super well versed in this, but I think like the process of going through it, or from what I understand, the process of going through it, getting lean, using that rebound to effectively build more muscle, like because you're less anabolic at like 20% body fat than you know what I mean, like than you would be at say 12 or 10 or 9 or whatever it is.
Yeah,
So you're
100%. Your
missing
body,
that opportunity to really build up some real
Yeah.
tissue.
your body
Fuck, I
eventually slows
retired at
down. Yeah.
33.
Right?
I retired at 33, so I was competing. Yeah, we used to compete young back then. There was a
Yeah.
lot of teens and like 19, like 18, 19-year-olds, and back
Yeah.
I'm
in the
just getting
day.
started at 38, so just some old fuck getting up there who's doing it.
38, yeah. I
Yeah,
might,
that's
There's a
awesome.
there's a
yeah,
ton
I
of
might
young
do my
guys in the team,
retirement
though.
maybe.
You can see them. There's a ton. Like they're all. I mean, I don't know if they're gonna all compete or what their goals are, but it seems like there's 50 young Chris Bumsteads in the gym. I just hope they all,
Mm,
do the process and go through with it. It'd be nice to
Right.
see them all actually like do something with it. 'Cause the
yeah,
It's
gym's
Instagram. They're just training for Instagram. They don't care.
yeah, that's stupid.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah. That's true
They're
though.
just sitting there making their TikTok videos with their broccoli heads, and it's
Yeah,
The funny thing about it too is like I'm not so like I've never tried to like monetize it. You know what I mean? Like monetizing this, it's just something I do for fun. But for those people that want to like make money off it, like they really like that's they're passionate about it. They want it to be their career, and this is the way they're going to make money off it. You don't have a choice anymore. You know what I mean? Like
no.
that's the only
Yeah,
way you can do it, and it's almost like so I have two minds about it. Like one, I think to myself like maybe you should go learn and be better and try to be something before you have to go make 85,000 Instagram videos. You know what I mean about your workouts and stuff like that. Do we really need another influencer out there telling me how to do a barbell curl? Like, do I need this in my life? Probably not. But on the other hand, like if that's your dream and your passion, what the fuck else are you supposed to do? Like it's you know what
Right.
I mean? Like it's I don't know.
It's true.
I don't
yeah.
know.
Like,
I
and
just
it's
Especially if
find
you're
it
making
strange.
money off it. Yeah, yeah. I totally get that. If you're making money off it, like my Instagram made me tons of money through like the clothing line. If I didn't have Instagram and social media, then I wouldn't be a coach
like
or have a clothing line and all that stuff wouldn't exist.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah,
Like one of the things I found out, like running this supplement. So like I'm not great at social media. Like it's never been like if you look at my personal, I've got like 600 followers on Instagram, and that's like 100 more than I had before I opened the store, or maybe 200 more than I had before I
right.
opened the store. Like
Now your
it
store
wasn't like
Instagram.
Instagram and social media certainly wasn't something that was like a big part of my life. I used to use it to watch reels and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But one of the things you realize is like this day and age, like if you're trying to tap into like a market and grow awareness and establish a brand or a reputation in the city, you have to use social media. So like not only are you like a storefront, but you're also like you have to be a content creator too. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's wildly different than it used to be, man. Like it's
it
weird.
is. Yeah.
Yeah. You have
you
to.
know how you know when you've made it in social media is when you get asked to be on Bodybuilding's amateur hour. That's the time.
That's like
Yeah.
that's how I found out, right?
You made it.
It's like
I'm hanging it up now.
you can
Yeah.
Pinnacle.
after the show you can relax.
Go get your overalls, you
Yep.
know, in your sixth division, your six wins, and hang it up.
Yeah, get the do the 6 classes all in a row. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get people booing me. I swear, people are gonna boo by the time I show up the last time. They're gonna be like, if this guy doesn't get off the goddamn stage.
He's like, yeah.
Do you have different trunks to wear for each division? Do you have like maybe different colors or something? You can at least switch that up. Change your
Shit, I
hair
never even
maybe.
thought about that. Where were you
Yeah.
like 2 weeks ago? I would have definitely done that. That would have been fun. No, well, it's just classic trunks, so those are pretty boring anyway. They're black, you know what I mean? So
Just
that's
black,
kind of
yeah.
it. But I do have a bunch of different like men's physique trunks. Maybe if they all because I wasn't sure it was gonna fit.
Just
So I got a
change
bunch
them
of
up. Put if they fit, then yeah.
Yeah.
What are your guys' general feelings on men's physique? Like I don't when I was going through the posing, now that I've like practiced all this like classic physique posing and stuff like this, I find it really boring. Like is it just me or maybe I'm not supposed to say that out here. I
No.
just find the
You're asking
posing
the wrong
boring.
guys.
No, you can say that. You're
Yeah,
talking to
that's cool.
bodybuilders here.
I'm allowed to voice that opinion.
You're talking. Yeah. So
Like
I love their physiques. I just don't. I think they could modify that class a little bit, right? Like, why cover a whole half of your body really with shorts, almost half of it.
Right.
Um, and the posing too. The posing is like, yeah, there needs to be more like different poses and more unique poses for men's physique if they want to keep up to classic. I think.
Right.
And like, but they're
I,
they're making some small adjustments to it, right? So like now in like at least at the pro level, the shorts have to go up to like what 15 inches or something like
yeah,
that, and they're supposed to
I
be
was gonna
like
ask,
Yeah.
did they do that with your guys' level? Or do they up your, or do you still have like the regular like knee length shorts?
I've got 15-inch shorts. They're still pretty long, but they're like tight fitting. You know what I mean?
All right, yeah,
Now
good.
I don't have like the world's largest legs. Like I'd say if I were assessing my own physique, I'd say my like quads are in general are probably a little undersized. Like they need some work, but like
They're,
it's yeah, like they're certainly tight. You know what I mean? You'd be able to see them through the shorts for sure.
all right,
Can
good.
you see your teardrop down below your shorts, kind of thing, or do they go all the way down to your?
Yeah, you'd be able to see the teardrop for sure. Yeah,
All
Yeah,
right,
they're
yeah,
definitely
because it
up
comes
higher
up, it
than
would
they
come
used to
up
be.
like just high enough. You know what I mean? To see
good.
the
Yeah,
To
teardrop, but
actually,
you wouldn't see like you wouldn't see any of the because and to be fair, in the posing that you're doing for men's physique, you're not flexing the quad in a way that you're going to see the separation either. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
oh, you don't.
You might be able to get hamstring separation from the back in the back pose, but I don't know if you'd get any
yeah.
quad separation.
Well, you should check that out. Pay attention to make sure if your posing does reveal the teardrop at all. I would want that. I would want that striated in the
Yeah.
pose for sure.
I think the
Personally,
teardrop will be like if anything, like my legs are fucking peeled.
yes, they are.
I
If go
seen
on
that.
in one of your newest Instagram posts, the legs are
Yeah,
like holy shit. They're like carved in. You can see all the lines and yeah, the veins. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah, my legs don't, like, for whatever reason, the legs came in pretty easily, but yeah, I think the legs are, from a conditioning standpoint, are going to be fun.
All right, yeah.
yeah, that's good. That's usually one of the last spots to come off, especially your first time dieting down is legs. So that's good. It's good to have
It's,
those in.
yeah, I think it's just genetic. Like, I don't carry a ton of fat there, like, generally, even in the off
Yeah,
season and stuff.
yeah,
But my back is where would be, like, my problem area for losing fat and stuff. I think everyone's got their own issues, you know what I mean? Like,
same.
Oh
nobody,
yeah.
Yeah,
We all
mine's the
have
back
their own
too. Yeah,
spots.
Josh isn't back.
Josh,
Yeah, no.
You got some questions there, Josh, for him?
Yeah. Someone wanted someone was like, "How did you learn how to invent time?"
how did I learn how to invent time?
Yeah. So I'm taking it like you have so much going on in your life. It seems like you must have a couple extra hours in the day to pull everything off.
Well, one of the nice things about prep is you don't sleep that much. So, like, you do get an extra couple hours there. You know what I mean? From
Yeah.
running on like 5 to 6 hours of sleep. But you know what I mean? It's honestly, it's just division and time management. You know what I mean? Is what you do. Like, it's you have a schedule and you stick to your schedule, and like you train when you're supposed to train, you eat when you're supposed to eat, you work. You pick up the kids when you're supposed to pick up the kids. You make them dinner when you're supposed to make them dinner. Then do what you got to do at the store. You take care of work at night, and I'm not gonna
And
lie,
then
like
retire.
between opening the store and and the kids and the job, it was at night, you'd be setting up the store during the day, so you'd be stocking the shelves and like getting all the inventory in and making sure that's all reconciles properly, building out the store, making sure everything's finalized, getting the health inspections done, getting the city inspections done, getting all that stuff. And then at night, you're reconciling out the purchase order. So, without Chelsea and myself on hands, I don't know how the hell we would have done it. Like, it certainly
Right.
would have taken us both to get this thing done. It was a lot of work.
Crazy.
Yeah, I bet.
So another that kind of ties into the next question is like, when do you guys see each other, and do you and Chelsea even train together?
We see each other all the time, but no, we don't really train together. Honestly, I don't think we've trained together. Like even when we go to the gym together, we don't train together. You know what I mean? Because it's a completely
Yeah.
different training style. Like she trains for bikini, I train for all around. It doesn't like really it doesn't go together. So I don't think we've
Yeah.
trained together in years, to be honest. But we make a time every single night. We would sit down around like 10 o'clock once we have the kids to sleep. And once we're done, say reconciling purchase orders or the house we're doing for the store, we'll watch a TV show for about an hour. We commit to that every day.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, you
You
have
got to do
to
something. Like honestly,
you
I
have to
feel like if you don't
prioritize your
put time into
relationship
those
in some way.
relationships,
Or what's that?
Sorry, it's the delay. I had to talk.
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't mean
fine.
to talk over you, but yeah, like if you don't put work into it, then it's not gonna work out. I think
Exactly. Yeah.
you got to
No
invest
matter.
time into your partner.
Yeah. 100% agree.
What show are you
Uh,
watching?
Oh man, we got a couple going on. We were watching. Well, now that Tulsa King's out, we blasted through the first two episodes of
Oh
that.
yeah,
You guys Tulsa King
that's
fans?
good.
Yeah.
haven't seen it
Good
yet.
show.
I haven't seen it
Awesome.
either.
I've heard
Is
it's
it?
good.
You haven't watched the first season of Tulsa King?
I heard
No.
it's good.
Oh man, you're in for a ride, dude. It's fantastic.
Nice.
So good.
You should
We'll
add
have
that
to
to your
check it
list.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. And then what's that other show? It's made by the same producers of Lost that just came back. It's pretty good, but it's not Lost. I'm trying to remember. It's like these guys are stuck in this town. They can't get out of it, and like at
Oh,
night, these creatures come out and murder
From?
everybody.
it's in Halifax.
From?
The one that did in Halifax.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
and it's filmed here. Yeah,
it's down in like Beaverbank and like they
What is it?
literally built a town for the show, and it's like
Oh, okay.
it's pretty cool.
It was filmed in Halifax.
Yeah, it still is. I think they're filming right now.
Oh, are they?
It's super popular. I can't think of the name of it either, but it's a great
It's
show.
called it's called
it's
From.
from. Yeah,
Oh, From.
Josh
That's
Allen.
what it is? Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's like it's called From.
It's shockingly good. Like it's very addictive. You have no idea really what's going on, or like why these things come out, or why they can't leave the town, or like what's happening.
I've
But
auditioned for
it's
so
awesome.
many parts on that damn show.
You're not in
I,
it?
no, I've not gotten on it yet, and I've auditioned so many times.
Man.
Keep putting them in.
Down there.
Apparently, when they're looking for monsters and aliens, it's always like tall, thin people. And I'm just like, I just want to be a monster. I want to be that'd be fun to play.
You look like a
And to be fair,
monster.
like the recurring monsters that they have that like aren't in makeup are like the same ones that they've had since the beginning. It's like the overweight guy that like looks like he's an ice cream truck man, the like little girl, the grandmother. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
Yeah. They need some new blood in there.
I know. I'm
they
trying.
need Josh. That's what they need for sure.
Oh man,
We'll advocate through this
you should
podcast.
just do it
Yeah.
up. I'll send you an email. You can blast them. Like, hey,
I'll put it on the store account too. It's got more followers than I do.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
No, it's a good show though. I know someone says here. I know you have two kids. One of them is a little bit older. What does she think of this whole process?
Jeez, what is easy to think about? Well, she's been around it for years, right? Like her
Yeah.
mom's been competing since she was a kid, so I think she's used to it. Although, like she's funny, dude. She's so funny. She burns me so good. So I'm leaning out for the show, right? And I'm like abs are starting to come in and stuff. I'm like, hey, I got a 6-pack. She's like, that's not that impressive. Some people have an 8-pack, you know. It's like, oh, thanks. Looks great.
Like, oh, it's horrible.
Just,
Keeps you in check.
yeah. And then
Oh, yeah.
today I had like one shot that looked like I had a full 8-pack, which I don't really. I was like, here, look at this. I got an 8-pack. She's like, some people have a 12-pack. And I was like, I don't even think that's correct. I'm not
I
even
don't
sure
think
that's
that's
right.
anatomically possible.
Photoshop more abs on you.
You'll never get there. In her eyes. Yeah.
Josh can do
They're
it.
funny.
Josh can
Yeah,
How
yeah,
old is
okay,
she?
we'll do it. Thanks.
How old is she?
She's 8 years old.
8.
Yeah, she's got a quick head though. She's funny.
Yeah.
She likes
She's
to
good
burn me pretty good.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But yeah, from her perspective, like she's pretty used to it. Like she's seen her mom compete like I don't know 10 times or so. Like it's just kind of part of it. So she doesn't think it's that weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's gotten acclimated to it.
Yeah, like having like we got like a section where we take our check-in photos in the house, like with the backdrop up and stuff. She gets it. She knows what's going on.
Yeah.
She's taking the photo.
You have,
she's
you have a son? Do you guys have a son together? Is your
Yeah, we do. Yeah, I've got a little 3-year-old. Now he doesn't really understand what's going on, but he likes to join me when I'm practicing posing and hit a couple little poses there. He likes to pretend he's like I can get big muscles like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like
My little guy was posing since he was like that age too. I got pictures from when he was like 3, and now he just turned 12 in the summer. He was able to join the gym with me this year, so it's pretty cool working out with him.
That's gotta be like a cool experience, eh? Like now that he's 12, you can finally
It
bring him
is.
in and start doing some stuff.
Yeah, I always thought of that in the past. I always like wanted him to be of age to be able to train with me. I thought it would be so cool, and now he's actually just signed up, so he
Now
loves
we're
it too. So
trying to
it's really
keep him
fun.
away from the shows, though.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
nope, we're not competing.
Just sports.
You
No,
guys wouldn't
no
let your kids
bodybuilding
compete, eh?
shows. What's that?
You guys
Uh,
wouldn't want your kids to compete?
I think they could do whatever they want, but we would
Yeah,
probably.
not really, but
My daughter did
yeah,
a
like
bikini
Josh said,
contest when she
we
was
could.
17.
Yeah, yeah. Andy's daughter competed.
Yeah, she
That's
didn't like
right.
it. She'll never do it again.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
I
would
can
like.
understand it.
I think Jaden will compete. He'll end up competing. I think he really seems to want to, and he's grown up with it his whole life and been to the shows, seen all my clients, me doing like posing with them
Right.
at the house and all of that stuff. So and he loves it. So I think he will. I don't really want him to per se, but
Yeah,
yeah, I'll
I
let
don't
him do whatever he
have.
wants.
Yeah, I don't have cat. I don't have kids, but like I would think, I probably wouldn't encourage it. But if they wanted to do it on their own and it's something that they came to choose, I would be behind them. But I wouldn't be
Yeah,
pushing it onto them
Yeah.
yeah,
for
exactly.
sure.
That's how I
Yeah.
feel too. Yeah,
I think it's a tough sport with a little with like high risk and lower payoff. You know what I mean? So I can understand where you
Yeah.
you may not steer them in that direction.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. What's your go-to meal after the show? What are you guys doing?
Oof. All I really want, it sounds stupid, but like the only thing I really want is like a really fatty steak, like a strip loin, and like a baked potato just loaded with butter. That's all I want.
Nice.
What's your guys'? It's like,
Sounds
I
good.
don't want burgers. I don't want chicken wings. I just want like a fatty steak and a potato.
I usually go for
Sounds
something crunchy because I don't get a lot of crunchy food during prep, right? Like I go for like nachos or like hard tacos or something. Or the only crunchy thing I eat during prep is like broccoli. That sucks.
I just crave
Yeah, I guess there
water
is.
and
Yeah, I didn't really thought about it. Like
Gatorade.
the diet, even your carbs, like really suck during prep. Eh? Like it's just
Yeah.
fucking cream of rice. It was just mush. And like when I'm at work, like I'll be at work, like at the bank, you know what I mean, in the office, eating cream of rice. People come up to me and they're like, "What are you eating? Baby food? Like what the fuck is that?" Like
Yeah,
it's
porridge. Yeah,
like it's cream of rice, man. It's I don't know.
yeah.
You're right. There's not a lot of textures in the prep food.
Yeah. So I go
You know,
for that kind of stuff.
Crunchy.
I can buy
I go
that.
for
You know what I've got
I go for
ordered up, which is
fluids.
probably going to just destroy me. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to talk over.
Well, that's fair. I go for fluids. I just want to get water and Gatorade and rehydrate. That's
Same.
what I'm thinking about first, but
But
because I'm so thirsty at that point. But yeah,
going into it, don't do it fast.
yeah.
Please don't go grab a bottle and down it after you get off the show. After you get off the floor,
Yeah,
I've heard that it makes you sick, right?
it will
it
come
does.
back
Yeah,
up very
it is.
quickly and
Yeah,
very painfully,
Yep.
so put it back in
slowly.
at a slow pace. Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's
Like you
that's the
sip it
hard part.
afterwards, eh?
Yeah.
Hmm.
What's that?
So like you would sip water, like you just take like 100 mils or something at a time until you rehydrate, or
Like
No,
I'm talking
I
about
drink a
like
little more than that. Just don't
yeah.
down it.
Don't take like a
Don't
bottle
chug
of
4 liters of
Gatorade and
water.
like yeah,
Yeah.
it will all come back up.
Don't
That's
try
been
to
my
don't try to replace your what you lost in water that night, or you'll be pretty sick. Yeah.
gotcha. These are all good tips. I hope somebody else is backstage reminding me of this before I.
Yeah.
I'll go like this.
Yeah.
Did
you'd
I
be
ever
like
tell you
wrapped
guys?
around the
Did I ever tell you guys what Greg Doucette did one time after a show?
no
You guys
I
all know
think
who Greg.
so.
You know who Greg
probably.
Doucette is. So
When he was in the hotel room.
he was staying at
Oh
my
yeah, he stayed at
place.
your place.
And after the show, so right after the show, he pulls out an entire giant bag of apples and ate the whole thing. I never seen anything like it. That's just like backstage.
Like
And
a
then we went
five
to the
pound
Irving.
bag.
Yeah, the whole like he ate the whole thing. I was like, where did that go? And we went to the Irving, and he got 2 platters for himself. Ate those like in minutes, and then ate like the rest of my son's platter and like half of mine too. Then we went back to my place, and he ate 2 liters of ice cream right out of the jug. Like he ate the whole 2 liters of ice cream, and all the while he was like eating spoonfuls of protein powder, like raw.
Oh
I
man,
just never seen anything like it. I don't know where it all went either because he didn't even look. It didn't even look bad. I was like, where did
didn't
it?
even phase him, eh?
Didn't even phase him. Yeah, that was the
That's crazy.
craziest post show meal that I've ever seen in my life. Like it was just unbelievable.
I almost get the
Yeah.
ice cream. It's the 5 pounds of apples that like throw me off. Like
That's what got me the most. I know that was
it wouldn't even occur to me to
the
have a
craziest
5 pound
part.
bag of apples back there.
Yeah,
That is
I don't even know where he got it. Like he had like all these apples he was just eating.
that's really strange.
That's
A lot
wild.
of yeah.
That is. But Greg is kind of strange though, so
Yeah, cool.
it
Weird.
fits him well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That was before he was super famous, Andy. Back in the day,
yeah,
we used to compete with him.
yeah. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
remember
Yeah,
he did the St. John show and shit, Atlantics, all that.
yeah, yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's had a tremendous amount of success on YouTube, man. Good for him.
Yeah,
Yeah, he did well.
it's really cool seeing
Not,
that.
not on here though. We never had them because we just don't need them.
So, yeah, we're above that. We're not that lowbrow.
Mm-hmm.
You guys don't do natty or not?
Oh no. We're
I
we
assume.
we
Yes, I assume.
respect the people.
That's right.
Yeah.
No, he'll be on eventually. He'll be on eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I talk to him maybe once a month or so. So
Oh, that's good.
He was really good about popping by the store and taking some shots and stuff like that. He's pretty like he's more supportive of like people's local initiatives than you think. Like he's very like despite the fact
He's a
that like
really,
he's a big shot now. He seems like to be a pretty good guy.
he's actually a really nice
I don't
guy.
know him
Yeah,
super
he
well,
is. Yeah,
but
yeah,
he is. Yeah, he is a good guy.
most of the stuff that people see online it's just a character, right? It's just like it's entertainment. It's a character. It's not really. It's a part of him, but it isn't him.
It's definitely exaggerated. Yeah,
Yeah.
an
So
exaggerated version for sure. But
Yeah.
yeah,
you need that for it to work, right?
I think so.
Catch on. Yeah.
well, I mean, listen, I
Um,
think like YouTube has algorithms that generate. You want to hit those. You want to create drama. You want to have a outgoing personality, something that's
Yeah.
faces
Yeah.
people that draws people in, right? So
exactly.
Yeah.
I think he's got that figured out.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Definitely.
We got one more. Someone else wants to know about during your prep. What was like a game changer? Did something like was there a particular exercise or is there something that like a game changer in your prep, like for your physique when you started doing a particular exercise? What worked best for you and you seen the most progress with? Like
I
someone's like,
didn't
oh,
change. Like the
I decided
exercises
to.
stayed.
It's like, oh, maybe you've decided to throw in the pendulum squats, and you're like, oh, all right, that's working really well. And
I wouldn't say. Listen, I would say nothing changed from a training perspective during prep whatsoever. Like what we were doing before is what we continued essentially to do. You know what I mean? Like
yep,
before we went into prep, we switched out of like a push pull legs and then moved into just like a sort of generic bro split kind of thing. And we maintained that same bro split throughout the entire process. I'd say like trying to train with as much intensity throughout most of the prep until say maybe the last couple of weeks is sort of where my head was at and my focus is at. Maybe not doing as much volume, but making sure those top sets were where they should be. Like trying to keep the weight where it should be or where it was. Obviously I didn't keep it there the whole way through, or maybe that's not obvious, but I couldn't keep it there the whole way through. But like I don't know if there's one exercise that bangs you out through prep. Like it was all just the same stuff. Like it's all the same repetitive stuff you were doing before. It's just making sure you're doing the same repetitive stuff with as much, I'd say maybe intensity is the wrong word, but making sure you're trying to maintain that weight at your sort of high end of your top set throughout the entire prep or as long as you can. Like I think that was big. But I will say this: the pendulum squat is a game changer in life for me because I have like not just for prep but just in life. I have like real like shitty range of motion in my hips, so like a traditional squat just doesn't work properly for me. Like I can't do it. I've tried for like the last 3 years. I have done everything I can to make my squat form not complete trash, and it is still garbage, like absolute fucking garbage. But the pendulum squat, because it like takes your hip mobility out of it, and it's mostly just ankle and knee flexion. Like that's all you really need to do to hit a pendulum squat. I can target the quads much more successfully in that pendulum squat than any other movement. Like I love that thing at Fitness FX. That pendulum squat is awesome.
it's pretty sick. Yeah, I
Nice.
agree.
Yeah. So for any of you people out there with like really shitty hip mobility like myself, check out the pendulum squat.
I think out east where you guys are, Andy and Devin, you guys have some sort of squat machine that is, it's not a pendulum squat, but it is like you place the pads on the shoulders, and you ride it down.
The hack squat or no?
Yeah, no, you're standing up. I think you hold on to it. Does that sound familiar? Oh yeah, you don't train legs, Andy. Shit.
I don't do
Devin.
legs, but I
Devin
see other
does.
I
people
don't think
doing them, and I don't think there's a machine. I don't know what you're
no.
talking about. We do have a hack squat.
There's a hack squat.
The
Is
hack
that
squat's not bad for taking out like if you have hip issue, like if your hip mobility's not awesome, or like your range of motion, your hips not
Yeah.
awesome. Hack's not bad. But that pendulum
is your
squat is bad. They've got one down at Pure Muscle and Fitness too. I've seen them in a couple other gyms. I
right?
don't know if they're becoming more popular or not, but they're pretty awesome.
There. Is your hack squat on rails that slide up and down?
We just got one, yeah, recently.
Okay, I'm thinking last time I was in St. John was like years ago, so I'm not sure.
You know what I'm not a big
Just go
fan of
back
in the hack squat? You know the ones that are bloated on your lower back?
Oh, the ones like at, sorry O2, but like at O2.
It's not just them. There's a lot of gyms that have it
There's a
like
few,
loaded on your lower back, and I'm not
right?
as big a fan. I prefer it when it's shoulder loaded as opposed
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
So you're sitting at like a 90-degree angle almost, and you're squatting downwards into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just doesn't something just doesn't feel right with that. I don't get great activation in the quads.
Yeah, I don't know. There's also something like, and I'm not an expert at really anything, but certainly not this. But there's something about loading up your lower back that just doesn't really feel comfortable to me.
No. Yeah, with
The
the
leg
weight.
press kind of does that.
Terrible.
It does a little, yeah, I agree. And
Yeah, because you talk about like when you're in that like have you ever done like a horizontal leg press?
yeah,
Yeah. On the
Yeah,
Smith machine, I used to do those. Yeah.
yeah, like
Those
a
are pretty good. I
horizontal
like
leg
those.
press. That seems to take the lower back out of it a little bit too.
Yeah.
yeah, they're not,
Yeah, they were
yeah.
good.
There's a Burnside Good Life has one of them, I think. That's pretty good.
I think they've got one at Penhorn
I
too.
would just make my own.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, they have a pin loaded one at Penhorn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And they've got, and of course, Fitness FX has one because they've got, I'd say, probably the best leg equipment in the city for sure.
They definitely do. I agree.
I don't think we have any horizontal presses around here, so we got to just make them up on
Where do
Yeah.
you live?
us.
Sorry,
What?
where was that?
I said we don't have any horizontal presses here, so we just do them on the Smith machine usually.
Lay on your back and just, yeah. I
Yeah.
remember doing that back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's scary.
I know, right? You definitely need a training partner if you're gonna do them.
That's terrifying. But yeah, those guys, they're in St. John, New Brunswick.
Oh, I gotcha. I gotcha. St.
Yeah.
John, New Brunswick.
Yeah. Or Andy's in Quispam, I think. Yeah.
Yep.
But
Same thing.
Same thing.
pretty much. Pretty much.
Well, next time you guys are in the city, you should come check out some of the local gyms. You guys ever come down to Halifax?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I'm actually going to Halifax tomorrow.
Are you
What?
really?
Yeah, yeah, I'm actually going there tomorrow. I should stop by your store.
Well, if you're going into Fitness FX, I'll be training there tomorrow too. I took the day off work, so I'll either be at the store
Yeah.
or at Fitness FX. So come hit me up. It'll be great to meet you in person.
Yeah. What time are you gonna be there? I'll be there in the day, so
I'll be there during the day
afternoon.
too. Like, so I'm going to open up the shop from 9 because Chelsea's got an appointment, and then I'll probably be there from, I don't know. I'll float into the shop is right down the street. It's like 2 blocks away from Fitness FX. So I'll either be at the shop or I'll be at Fitness FX from like then until the end of the day.
Cool. Okay, I'll shoot you a DM on Insta
Perfect. Awesome.
and get the location, and everything, and all that.
Yeah, it's real close.
Cool.
Sounds good.
All right,
We'll
guys.
get you a free shake on the house. You can try them out. Pump them on your socials. They are delicious.
Are
Awesome.
you looking at carrying any Swole Fit merchandise?
I don't have
fit.
any.
Listen, we don't have the ability to like you. I can put you in touch with a great guy named Josh McGowan who runs this franchise. But like generally, like we do, like from a merchandising standpoint, we carry like our own brand of stuff. Obviously,
Yeah,
like our own supplement world logos and stuff like that. But yeah, it's yeah. I'll let Josh make the determination on that one. Sadly, I don't get to make those calls on what product we carry and don't.
So if it
Actually, not
is
sadly. Can I be honest with you? It'd be a
merchandise
lot of work.
anyways.
I'm actually really happy that Josh gets to make those calls. Like, can you? I can only imagine the number of phone calls that guy gets from people asking him to carry their product line and having to make determinations on which ones to carry and which ones not to.
Right.
Like, we already carry more lines than most other supplement stores. Like, it's pretty good, and I can only imagine that more and more people are trying to get their product in there. Right? Be
sure.
be a pain in the butt filling those calls. I think.
It'd be overwhelming.
Yeah.
Like even us at the local level, people come up and say like, "Hey, can you carry our product?" And you're like, "Yeah, not really, man. Like that's not really what we do." But
Yeah.
It's not how it works. Yeah.
yeah, it's not how it works. Like, and the thing is, like, you've got like some great local companies here that are doing good work. And like, listen, I'm a small business owner. I would love to support people in the community, and we certainly do. Like, we work with like Mark from Iron Brothers and stuff like that. Like, he's on our approved list, so we certainly do quite a bit of work with him because he's local, and we're like really happy to have that partnership in place. But it's tough because most of the like to sort of to be able to sell to like a national franchise that has like 30 locations, you've got to be able to scale up and like ship out to 30 different stores. You know what I
Right.
mean? And most people don't that are sort of smaller don't have that capability, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes
Like,
sense.
like for example, Swole Bears. That's a super cool company. That have you guys ever heard that kid Swole Bears who does like the
Yeah.
protein gummies and
The
stuff?
kid's awesome. He's like 14 years old, rocking his own business.
Yeah,
Like
the
14?
kid's like an inspiration, man.
Something
He's
like
sick.
that,
He's
yeah.
awesome.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, he goes to all the events around here, like the powerlifting and like the Olympic events, and has his own little booth with his swole bears. Hands out samples and sells packages and stuff.
Oh nice.
Yeah,
Cool.
It's super smart.
it's a
14.
little gummy bears that are like protein gummy bears.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. I've never seen a like 14-year-old kid work harder than this kid.
Wow.
He's doing good.
That's cool. That's cool to see.
All right, man. I don't want to keep you any longer. It's getting late, and I'm sure you probably either have to go eat
I
or
appreciate
pee
you guys having
again.
me on though. This was fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks
Oh,
for
yeah.
coming on, buddy. And good luck
No problem,
this
guys.
weekend. Good luck this
Yeah,
weekend.
sounds good.
A little bit. Sorry, a
Cheers.
little bit
Inspire me to do
later.
it tomorrow. Look out.
Yeah, a little bit later. I want to before you go. I think we're gonna have a couple people like first-time competitors on the show, and we're gonna like just have a brief conversation about how your first-time bodybuilding in the show has changed your lives in a negative or positive way. And I think you'd be really cool to come on.
Sure, I'd love to do it.
And
Happy
there'll be a
anytime.
couple of people, a couple of people that have just only ever done one show and want to see like what has happened afterwards and how the shows have affected your lives, which I think is going to be really neat. So we'll give it a little bit of time to let everything settle in after the show, and then we'll go from there.
Sounds like a great idea. Yeah, and I think that's kind of a cool concept too. So sure, I'm in.
Yeah. Nice.
Awesome, Mike.
All right,
man.
Yeah,
Cheers,
man.
guys.
Thanks very much.
Yeah.
Good
All right,
luck. I'll
bye.
see you on the weekend.
Yeah, I'll see you this weekend. Bye, guys.
Yeah.